I'ma show you. I'm the king of rock, there ain't none higher. Sucker MCs, you call me sire. To fall my kingdom, you must shoot fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm.
And the music was good and the music was loud. Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what I was gonna tell you? Hey, something about them brown dubbies, Gerald.
I know, right?
Them brown, I think they work better than the black ones. I don't know.
Alonzo was the beast, baby. He put.
I'm telling you, in the time he's I'm telling we gotta put that to a test.
yeah. So, people, we finally made it.
Yeah.
Trouble.
I'm gonna say Country Mountain Bend.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same issues with like you had last time. The first time actually we did this, and then we went on live, and then man, I'm telling you, it took me like 3 hours to get this thing, and it was just like a headache, you know.
Yeah, I just ended up getting the camera to put on the top of it and forgot the one with the computer, so it works better this way.
All right, people. Well, today is a great day. I've been waiting for this for like 3 weeks. We tried to get it done a week ago. Ben doesn't, he lives off the grid. He has no electricity, no lights, no running water. So we had technical difficulties, but guess what? Ben White of Country Mountain Mastiffs is here. Let's give it up. Come on, Leo.
Thank you.
I'm following the lead. Whatever it takes us, that's where we're going. Yeah. You know?
We all learn from each other. That's how the world works. Or the universe works. The universe works that way, off of energy and vibration.
I like that. I'm all about that thing. We should have a video about that too, you know? So
yeah. So basically today's meeting is not only to I won't say introduce the world to Ben, because the world already knows about Ben White.
No. In the powerlifting and the bodybuilding world, yeah, but
yeah,
the dog world, this is your world. And
it's our name? World. That's Leo.
It's Leo, but it's not right. But it's not our world, because everybody's concept and perception is misunderstood, because it don't take rocket scientists to understand what a living, breathing animal is supposed to eat.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into the breeding practices. How do you pick out your potential extended family, people who want to buy dogs from you? What's the process? What sets you apart from the other breeders who breeds Mastiffs? Because, you know, there's different breeds of Mastiffs. You got Tibet Mastiffs, you got all different kinds, and you hit so
many of them.
Yes. Yeah, and you hit some things on the head where, like, listen, the Caucasian Shepherd and the Tibet Mastiff, he said, listen, if you shave all the hair off the ass, they ain't that big. And you had me thinking. Even the feeding practices, you had me thinking, especially when you said about when the animals are out in the wild, if they don't kill that day, they don't eat that day. So they have to learn how to store the energy for the next hunt or the next kill. So we'll get into that. But introduce yourself to my followers, which will probably be your followers pretty soon.
My followers be your followers. Same thing here.
Yeah.
My name is Ben White. I'm a professional bodybuilder / powerlifter. I gave it up about 10 years ago. I decided that I wanted to breed Mastiffs, and I wanted the biggest and healthiest Mastiffs. And I've seen how a lot of other people were doing it. I originally started this in a 1,200 square foot house, and then a 800 square foot apartment. Now I'm in a 3,000 square foot house and a 1,000 square foot something in their room, and over 100 and some acres of land. So you got to go through the storm before you can get to where you're going.
Yeah. Now, Ben, you're located in northern or southern New York?
It's in the middle, Amsterdam, New York. is between Utica and Albany.
Now, the other question is, are there any black people up there?
I mean, we got no. In my area, I'm the token one.
There
I'm
It's
the
a
you
dog.
country.
I'm,
It's a
I'm the
country.
dog. I'm the dog whisperer. I'm in the country. But if you
Yeah,
go across the bridge, I mean, there's diverse colors of black, but I mean, or brown or whatever people want to call it. But I just look at people like really as human beings or me being a
right,
version of themselves. I don't
right.
look at people as color, but people go by color. I just look at people as me being where they're weak at, I'm strong, and where I'm weak at, they're strong, and they could just vibrate off of that. But most people can't be honest enough with me, so I stay by myself and trust my dogs.
I noticed that your how your home is set up. It's ideal for a guy like me because I grew up in the country. I grew up born and raised in Mississippi, so I'm used to having where you need a ride a lawnmower because you have so much yard to cut, right? And
Right.
and people go to Piggly Wiggly and
Yeah.
Flower to go grocery shopping, right? And if you're good, you may find a Kroger's. And I'm used to people are speaking to you, saying hello as if they've known you for years and they've only met you for the first time. So it's definitely a culture shock when I moved to Los Angeles where people don't speak to each other. You don't know who your neighbors are. I mean, well, hell, when I grew up, my neighbor had a key to my house in case something happens. It's not like
Right.
in LA. But I would like to get into. We start hit. What made you? Now, was the Mastiff the first breed you got into, or that was the only breed
No,
you got into?
no. I mean, growing up, I had dogs and everything else. And then my father, he had actually a Doberman named Sergeant because he was in the military named Sergeant, and it would go out the house, jump a 6 foot fence, disappear, and then come back. And he was like obedient and everything else, just like yours is. My dad was 100% strict, and I just I wanted the biggest. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted the biggest Mastiff, which I knew was the English Mastiff, and the most aggressive Mastiff and hard to train Mastiff is a Brazilian Fila. Most people don't know about that. So when I got the Fila, and I had her for 3 years, and I seen how she was, and I took off with the dog food and transitioned her over. I said, okay, I want to breed with the English Mastiff, and I only want to breed with somebody that got a dog that they're feeding raw. And I happened to find this guy, and he did it, and he let me, and I did 2 generations. I waited 3 years before I did it to see the temperament of the dogs and everything else. Gave them away for free, $100, $1,000, whatever, to see how the people were and everything else. And then I did another litter 3 years later, and that's where I got Thanos and Gamora from. And then I waited again, and that's when I started producing the puppies and everything else.
Now, I've watched a lot of your TikToks, and it's entertaining, but it's also educational. And I noticed you make sure that you let people know that you have your dogs, your grown dogs, grow up to almost 250 pounds. Is that correct?
That's correct. What people don't really understand, and this is what they're never going to understand, their dogs stay in the house and their dogs stay in cages. My dogs actually be like the foxes and wolves and stuff outside. During the summertime and the spring months, they lose weight. They shed their hair and everything else. In the wintertime, they store it up and they get bigger. They fluctuate between 50 to 100 pounds in the wintertime. In the wintertime is when deer season is, and I feed them deer every single day. For the whole deer season and everything else, for the whole month, I feed them deer. So for 5 or 6 months, they're eating deer every single day. They get up there,
Nice.
and then all of a sudden they'll drop the weight down. And with the chicken and everything, a chicken and goat or whatever. But when deer season or hunting season come back up, they get bigger because it's a lot of extra scraps and everything else for them to eat.
See, we don't have that luxury right here. You know, the houses right here, they're like, man, you're looking at your neighbors every day. Every
No, but
day.
that's what
It's like,
right. But what I sit there and tell people, even though your dogs are real well trained and mine are too, mine protect me different from the way you guys' dogs protect you. My dogs go off gut instinct. And people are
right,
like, what do you mean? When people come here, and the reason I turned 9 people away, and I could have had all the dogs gone, but I turned 9 people away. When they came here, the dogs started barking. Fiona and Gamora kept barking. Copper, Simmer, and Thanos, they really wasn't paying no attention to everything else. And I go by my females because my females run my pack. And once they kept barking, I'm like, what is it about them that I'm not seeing or picking up and everything else? And I like, thank you for coming and everything else. You can take pictures with the dogs, but I can't sell your puppy. And they asked me why, and I'm like, look at my dog. She's still barking. Everybody else, the other 5 people that got the dogs for me, no problem. They went out, they looked at the puppies, they played around with the puppies. The puppy came up to them. They said, that's the puppy I want.
You just felt something was off. You know, that's what it was.
Not me, the dog. The dog. I go by the dog.
The dogs did first, but then like, you know, you get connected to the dogs and stuff, and it's like
right.
you
So I just went up. Yeah, I just went off of their energy and everything else because of energy and vibration. And I'm like, if they didn't bark at the other 5 people that picked the puppies up, what's about them? And then I talked to the woman a little bit more, and she was like, I'm really scared and nervous around the dogs and everything else. I said, what, my dogs? And I was like, if you're nervous around my dog, what are you going to do when this dog get over 200 pounds?
So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. So
go ahead.
So people understand who are following us. When you get calls or emails or messages, DM messages in your TikTok or Instagram or even possibly Facebook, they have to come out to you. You don't ship out dogs at all, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when they come out to you, if the puppy or the puppy's mother don't respond the way that you find is mutual, no matter how much they throw at you, you're going to say no. Did you get me?
It's not about the money. It's about placing them in good. All of my puppies are living besides one. And it was a police officer and a doctor that actually put the puppy down because of negligence on their part. And I told them, and that's why I pick and choose, because I'm not trying to just sell dogs. I'm trying to show people that 10 years, no vet bills.
Yeah.
It only costs $60 a month to feed one dog. You feed your dog cups. 4 cups equal 1 pound. I just fed my dogs 160 pounds of meat. When do you think they're supposed to eat next? Tomorrow? They just ate 160 pounds of meat. When do they supposed to eat next?
Yeah.
In a couple of days. I mean, because about how long that food can digest in their system.
Takes a while.
Then they go outside and use the bathroom. It rains, it dries it up, it turns white, and then it goes back into the soil. Just like the coyote crap we see out there, the wolf, the fox, the deer, it all goes back into the ground because it's what it's supposed to be, raw.
Yeah, it calcifies. That's why when I feed my boys
I use the bodybuilder. I used to take a whole lot of stuff, eat all this craziness. Right, but that's what I tell people. They're like, well, I'm going to take the bone out. Well, you may as well just throw it away because of calcium. Look at Bully Max. It's like, God knows how much that costs, and it's all garbage. It's all garbage. That farmer's choice or that farmer's nature stuff, whatever, all natural. It's garbage. It's all garbage. Yeah. And people sitting there, I'm buying it. And you see how expensive that is. And they call me crazy. And then the people that actually buy for their dogs who think they're doing good, look at them.
Yeah, those are not the ones there. Like, we don't even look at.
I mean, you're right. I'm asking myself why you got a dog. I mean, this is serious. I mean, people just let stuff slide and everything else. You can do whatever you want with your dog. When I was born in the 76, I do not know when I'm gonna die, but I got an asterisk in between it, and it's gonna say he did for himself, he learned, and he passed on his knowledge to them that wanted to learn. Other than that, I don't care. I really don't care how people think. They could do whatever they want. They like vet bills because the vets already know that what they're doing is killing your dog, just like the doctors. You go to the doctor. I used to have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high almost type 2 diabetes. I was 311 pounds, bench pressing 700 and some pounds, deadlifting 700, almost killing myself, but I look good. But I mean, car accidents and the universe shifts you around, and it's like, look, that's your past. You learned from it and everything else. Take what you know from there and take it to your clients and your dogs, and that's what I do. My dogs run. I do about 40 to 50 miles on a bike, and they're out in the field. I mean, people say I run with my dog. No, you don't. You can't run with your dog. Nobody can run with their dog.
No.
Or play with their dog. They're like, I play with my dog. No, you don't, because they play with each other and they scratch and bite. I don't see no scratches and bites on you. I mean, but people don't get it. When you see a pack of dogs, they like, why is your house so quiet? We've been on here. You ain't heard the dogs bark. Fiona controls this. She will hump Thanos, she will hump Copper, and she will hump Simba, and to let them know that she still runs the pack. Copper, he runs the boys. Have they ever got into it? One time. What happened? Copper bit Thanos in the lip, and Thanos left him alone. Why don't they have sex? Because Gamora knows who she want to have sex with. You can't make a dog have sex unless you hold it down and everything else. She knows who she want to have sex with, the strongest male. Nobody knows this because they got one dog and then they got another dog across the yard somewhere or whatever. And I'm like, that's not how they do it. They're like, how you do it? I let them go outside for about 4 or 5 hours. They disappear and then they come back in the house. I don't look at them. I don't do nothing. They be messing around out there 4 or 5 hours. Because they got to do that little they got to do that little courtship dance.
You know what? Me and you was talking before the last time we were trying to get on. And I said something profound. I said, we as humans are taking the animal instinct out of the animal.
Yeah, we're 100%.
You know, so I want to get into the raw feeding. Now, when do you start feeding your puppies raw, and what is the regiment for puppies? And how often do you feed your grown dogs when you feed them? Because I know you was telling me how you feed them every so few days, etc.
Right.
And so tell me your feeding pattern and tell me the purpose behind it.
Okay. When I first started and everything else, I really didn't know what I was doing. So I was feeding them and just like a diet. You're trying this. I'm like, this ain't no diet, man. This is nature. How would they eat out there? And my mind just clicked. It's okay, wolves, foxes, everything else you see out there. So I started my puppies at 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks. They're eating raw food. So
okay.
And during the process of Gamora being pregnant, I feed her around the clock every 4 hours. She'll normally have 16 puppies. So I feed her just for the 16 puppies and everything else.
But when you do feed them, how much do you give them? Like, how much do they actually?
I do just like I did the episode today. I just give her till she stop eating. Because I let her, when she stop eating, then that means that she's full. She'll start playing around with it, try to bury it or hide it or whatever, but she's done eating. Mm-hmm. And with the puppies, 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks, because I make my own dog food. Just like people sit there and make kibble and mash it all up and whatever. You sit there and take the chicken bones, get a grinder, and you put it in there and you can make your own dog food. It's cheaper to make your own dog food, but I understand why people are paying for it. But like I said, you know people that hunt, you know people that fish. I mean, you can sit there, hey, what you do with the scraps? What you do with this? What you do with that?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
It was a guy that hit me up on Facebook. He's out in Montana. Okay. And he said, how can I introduce my dog to raw? He said, 'cause he's been eating kibble. I said, well, you know, it's like this. You put a little bit of raw meat in the kibble. You transition that for 3 or 4 days. He said, okay. He come back and said, man, hey, Gerald, hey, I did that and he wouldn't eat it. I said, fuck that. I said, listen, you put that bowl of food down there. You give him 15 minutes to eat it. If you don't eat it, pick that shit up and we go feed the next day. I said, dogs will not starve themselves unless they're sick. They will eat their own dog shit before they starve to death, right? And so, and this is a man who hunts. He said he has fridge loads of venison, which is the new term that I call deer meat. I'm a country dude. Call it deer meat. Venison sounds sophisticated, but it's really deer meat. He said, man, I got all this deer meat. Because I told him, I said, he asked me, where do you get all that raw meat from? I said, well, I'm in LA, man. I mean, shit. Ain't no scraps you can go to a butcher and get here. Everything is usable. The Asian companies, like there's a place, Leo, downtown LA called Canton's Food, Canton. And I used to get all of the chicken backs. You know, the back part of the chicken, the whole big back part. Yeah. I used to get cases of that shit. And for like $30, like 40, 50 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And because the Asian people use that for chicken broth. they got used to it. So all the dog guys started going down there buying that shit by the cases. So they went up on the case. This guy lives in Montana. I said, go to your local butcher. Ask him what he's doing with the scrap meat from the cows. You know, the guts, the heart, and, you know, the fat. I mean, the bone.
I'm surprised his dog won't eat no raw food. I haven't seen any dogs.
He was used to it, but see, he got an open bowl policy. I mean, this motherfucker, he feeding them, and he ain't even hungry yet. I'm like, yo, once a day, if you're gonna do it with a dog, right? If he doesn't want to eat, pick it up. We're gonna play this game. You're gonna eat this food, and if he doesn't, it just is what it is. But go ahead, Ben.
No, I do the same thing when I sit there and tell people. I don't tell them with the kibble because I just don't do the kibble shit. Yeah. But I sit there and tell them in order to transition them over, get them an undercooked hamburger. Scorch it outside and leave it pink in the middle. Put salt on it. What do you mean salt? Salt.
They love that shit.
Celtic salt and Himalayan salt and Baja
That's good,
Gold
actually. Yeah,
are the best with the trace minerals and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about how often, because we talked about that, and I know there's going to be controversy behind this.
No, it's not.
But you said it, Ben. Well, you know, for the regular people, for the people who believe in the alleged typical feeding practices, right? Like, I get your point, right? And I believe in it. But for the most part, a lot of people who are kibble based, or, oh, the dog will get E. coli, which is bullshit. I never heard of a dog getting E. coli. But, you know, for the regular people, how often do you feed your full-grown dogs? I know you feed by the pound, not per cup, because we ain't doing kibble. But how often do you feed the grown dog? Because you gave me a number, and I want the people to hear the number, but I also want you to explain why you do that.
Okay, first of all, it's all about the deprogramming of people. My first question before you even ask me is, who told you? That's all I want to know. Who told you this? Because when you got proof and facts in front of you, who told you this? And it better make sense to me, because I'm a Scorpion. It needs to make sense to me, really.
Make it make sense.
It needs to make sense. Who told you dog food is what you're supposed to feed your dog? When I'm from the South and you're from the South, I'll be 48 this year. We were poor. Wood house, cinder blocks, outside bathroom. Guess where our dog lived at? Up under the house. Guess what our dog ate? What we passed around the table and everybody ate off of, we gave them that.
Slop.
We didn't have no vet bills. Our dog was healthy. They were having a bunch of puppies. We never knew it had puppies until it came from up under the house. We didn't know when that dog was eating, because we didn't know when we was eating. So how did that switch over? Who brainwashed somebody and told them that?
It's not. It's both. I believe it's the food, and it's also the people's mind. The dogs are connected to people, and if you panic, if you think something's wrong with your dog all the time, that's definitely something's going to be wrong with your dog. You know,
right? But
I believe it both goes hand to hand. Like
right. So you basically agreeing with me. If you eat McDonald's and you eat Krispy Kremes and you eat donuts and you
all the good
drink
shit.
sodas, and you sit there and drink alcohol, and you sit there and drink coffee, and you all wrinkled up, your health is bad, that's how your dog gonna be. That's how your dog gonna be, right? Because all of them are processed chemicals.
You know what we say, you know what we say, if you feed your dog like with a kibble, it's gonna look like kibble, dry hands. You know what I mean? But
the turning of the stomach. I never heard of these terms, like turning of the stomach, itch your paw. Somebody said, why your dog shake their head? Because they sleep all day. My dogs like being up at night. Believe it or not, for my entertainment purposes and the viewers, my dogs come outside and everything else. They're in the house right now sleeping. But as soon as it get dark, they love being outside. Yeah, and as soon as the sun starts coming up, you'll see them creeping in. And I'll be like, what do you mean? If you watch any of my videos, the puppies just walk out the bushes like they on hee-haw. I mean, they just coming out the bushes and stuff. I'm just, where they at? Somewhere out here. Yeah. But they know not to go in the neighbor's yard and the other neighbor's yard where the fences are at. They go across the street because that's my client, and we got rabbits that run across the road, and the puppies say, fuck it, I'm going to go across the road too. And that's what they do. They call me when they see it on camera. I see them. We go back and forth. But other than that, I don't get it. But how I feed my dogs. I just fed my dogs today between 100, I think it was 160 pounds of chicken. With 160 pounds of chicken, I won't feed my dogs for another 5 to 6 days. The reason for the 5 to 6 days is not wolves, because wolves kill because they just like to kill. Foxes and coy dogs and wild dogs or whatever, they sit there and they consume a whole lot of food. And it basically put their body into ketosis damn near, because that's all they want to do is sleep. They'll play around and everything else, but they want to sleep. I watch they poop. If they're still using the bathroom, that means there's still food in you. So they fast for 3-4 days. You see, I have the turkey jerky and everything else, and I feed them treats and everything else. If they were starving or they were hungry, any dog will go after that, especially when they know what it is. Nobody touches it.
Well, the same thing for us, you know what I mean? Like it goes to, you know, fasting is we did the same thing back in the day. We're hunters too, you know. We'll hunt,
right?
Then you don't get food for 3 days, and then all of a sudden you get food, and you know.
Yeah, and people back then was diabetic free too, weren't they?
They were free for everything. You know, now we have all these issues and stuff.
What? But we have the issues because the lack of knowledge, because people don't cook at home. People don't know how to use cast iron frying pans. People don't know coconut oil and coconut milk is what you're supposed to be using. All this other stuff is garbage. That's what I'm saying. I look at people and I'm like, look, if you see my dogs and you see what I'm feeding them, and I'm telling you, you ain't got to add nothing to the food. You ain't got to do nothing but go 100% raw. That's all you got to do. I'm sitting there showing people 5 to 6 days. How much money would that save you?
So my question to you is, so how much is it, like how much do you really spend if you, I mean, you don't have to be exact, but
no,
like,
it's exact. I spend $400 with the dogs I got now. It's $400 a month.
That's cheap, Leo. He got damn near 12 dogs.
Yeah. That's cheap.
But it's not all the way 400 because it depends. If the box is 25,
yeah, I mean you have pregnant, you have litter,
go like that. But normally I get them 100 and I started 60 pounds normally, and then I work my way up. When I see that they're starting to play with it or dance around or guard it, then I make them go in the house like I do all the time. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I bought this food. This is my food at the end of the day." So when they get done eating, I say, "Go in the house, go in the house." And I said a couple of times because they were like, your dog's hard-headed. Once again, pack-orientated. The dog's going to try you. They're going to be like, "Okay, Dad, I'm going in the house." No, they're going to sit there and try you because they try to get away with stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what a pack does. They sit there and see if you're weak on this dog or this dog. I don't treat no dog. I treat all dogs equal. My 5 dogs listen to me. These puppies, they blue collar, pink collar, that's their names until 6 months. After 6 months, I keep the dogs. Mm-hmm. I'm not going down on the price and everything else. You pay $100,000 for a Frenchie, and they can't do nothing.
Yeah.
I showed you what my dogs do.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'll keep
and you can't even breed it, and you can't even breed the dogs. Mm. You got to sit there and I mean, how you have a dog without a dog?
It's true.
I mean, the stuff don't make no sense. I'm sitting there telling people, like I said, we've been live. The dogs are here sleeping, pass out. They don't care. But if I say, "Hey, what's that? What's that?" They're here. Now go back to sleep. Everybody go back to sleep. Well,
I think it's
go ahead.
I think it's important for people to understand. Like case in point, I always go back to, one of my ex-girlfriends said I think too much. I'm a deep thinker, Ben. And I was watching this lady on Instagram a couple years ago. She had these 2 real alpha male European Rottweilers. I mean, and they were puppies. And when they play fight, it was cute. And she used to giggle about it. And when they started getting bigger and bigger, up to almost 2 years old, and they was competing for affection, because some of these motherfucking dogs get jealous. And I said, I messaged her, because I usually don't chat with nobody going back and forth on their fucking pages, because I don't give a shit. And I said, them riders gonna lock up one day and it ain't gonna be cute no more. 6 months later, the Roddies mained each other so bad they had to put them down. So my question is to you is, you have some serious alpha males and you have a serious alpha female. How do you establish, especially when you feed them all together? Because Leo, I don't know if you watch some of his Instagram posts, but he'll have everybody like get the fuck away. The puppies, like they're in front of the males, and he throws the chicken out there, and they can't touch shit until he's done tossing the chicken out there. So he'll have 6 or 7 pieces out there. And he said, no, back up. And then the male dogs are behind the puppies, right? I don't think the puppies and the grown dogs and the puppies ever eat together. But when he feed the grown dogs,
oh no, they all ate together today.
Yeah, that day. So I'm like, it's like total fucking control. And it's like, how do you establish the pack leader role among all of them when they're one of their main things kick in, which is the hunger sense? Like, because animals, they sometimes they will fight over food. How do you regulate that?
But that's what I'm trying to get people to think. You got to come around me and get elevated in your spirit and what you believe in. You're a higher being than yourself. People don't get that. It's the energy and the vibration. I'm telling people, they're not getting it. Them dogs can fuck me up anytime. They respect me. I respect them. I don't beat them. I don't do nothing crazy. I don't do none of that. They get disciplined when they do something crazy, but I don't sit there and do what everybody else do to their dogs. Think about this. If you work an 8-hour job or 10-hour job, your dog is locked up for 10 hours. By the time you get home and everything else, then you let the dog out. How much exercise did that dog really get?
Nothing.
What kind of food? What kind of food did the dog eat? Nothing. So of course it's going to be aggressive, because if they're reading the back of the bag, and I don't know if this is true, 2 cups or a half a cup or however they do it, a big dog or whatever. Say the big dog get 4 cups. We know that's a pound of food. That's a pound of air. No vitamins, no minerals, no nutrients, no nothing. So that would make you aggressive and everything else, because you want meat, you want food. My dogs eat enough and everything else, and they know it's food there, and they don't fight because they're not really hungry. They see the food there and everything else. If I sit there right now, let me see. I know it. Oh, I don't want to mess my camera up, but I'm gonna mess it up.
How many males do you have? Like, how many grown males do you have?
3.
And they don't fight each other?
Nope, they won't fight. I dare them to fight.
And they're all over 220 plus pounds, Leo.
Look, I got a chicken bone here. See it?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
That's some Wingstop.
Okay, I got chicken bone here.
It's crazy.
See anybody fighting?
No. Some motherfuckers came out of closets.
I didn't even see.
Right, but no, because they was all laying on the floor.
Yeah, they
But
definitely.
that's
love
what I
each
sit
other.
there and try to tell people.
I'm surprised you got 3 males
Sit,
and they don't
Thanos.
fight.
Sit.
5
Sit.
males.
Thanos,
You got
sit.
5? You got 5 males?
Come here, Thanos. No, I got. Come here, Thanos. Sit.
And they all know each other.
He just turned 4 years old.
And they know their names, Leo.
That's crazy.
Get off the court.
Crazy.
Come here, Copper. Come here, Copper.
Look at Copper. He knows his name.
Where you at, Gamora? Come here, Gamora.
You know what
Come
I'm
on.
wondering, Gerald? I'm
Come on.
wondering if they're
Up
a
here.
little bit, maybe Mastiff was a little bit different. I don't know. You know what
Fiona.
I mean? Like,
Come here, Fiona.
Well, I had 2
Fiona, come here.
2 Dobies, Alonzo and
Fiona,
Brody, and they got along.
Over here.
well, mine they get along as long as they're Tommy and Diesel used to get
Yes, sir.
along perfectly fine until I start adding females. Once you start adding more females, once you get the
Up
pack
here.
bigger,
Where's
here.
Gamora?
Up here. This Fiona right here. You can't see her. Down. Down. Down.
that's what I'm wondering
Sit.
because he has a pack. I mean, he doesn't not have just the males. You know what I mean? He has like
No, I got the
females.
mother. I got the mother. The mother of everybody. Move. Move. Go lay down. Move.
It's crazy.
No, but still no barking. But I told people it's energy and vibration and what you give off and everything else. Get away. I do not have no more food. Move, move, move. Go lay down somewhere. Y'all want to go outside? Because I ain't going out there with you. I ain't gonna
I mean, I got some crazy story. Like I was, yeah, mine are. If I take them, just two of them males, they're fine. Like if let's say I take them somewhere,
don't nobody go around the front.
yeah. But if I let them outside, to run all of them run outside. Oh man.
No, all of them outside now.
Yeah.
I'm in the house.
Yeah, I can't
They
do
ain't
that.
doing nothing.
It's like I don't know how to. Yeah, yeah. I have issues with the males. With the males, I have.
No, because
Females,
I told right, but did you have your dogs from birth, not in cages, and you had them together? If you always had them together, they shouldn't do it because you're the dominant male. You the dominant male. Your dogs aren't.
not all of them. The first ones I did, Tommy, my oldest ones, they were together since they were like pretty much, and they got along pretty good for like until they start turning about 3 years old,
Right, but
Once they
one gonna
start
be
turning
right, but one gonna be dominant than the other one. Also, it depends on how much you're feeding them and everything else. And a lot of it comes from food because they're not eating enough. You see how much my dogs eat. That's the whole thing. You got to keep the dogs fed because when they're not fed, that they will fight.
yeah.
But that's what it is. Though.
Yeah, mine are pretty thick. Like they're pretty big. They're 130, 40
No,
pounds.
but still, even it's not about the weight because your dog might be bigger than that if you was feeding it more food. That's all I'm just sitting there saying. It's the food. The food keeps them calm and everything else.
I start having a problems once I start adding females. You know what I mean? Like more females, more females, more females.
That's that I told you when she comes into heat.
How do you do that?
She knows how she knows who she want to have sex with.
I know, but the males don't fight.
No, they don't fight. I'm a videotape it and everything else to show you. I will have all three of them out there, and I will call two of them back in the house, and the other one will stay out there with her, and then I come in the house, and I'm like, that's how it's done.
That's crazy, Gerald. That's
But you learn from. But I told you, you guys are on a different level when it comes to training. I see how y'all train. I do this, but I'm on that different spiritual level with the dogs.
Yeah.
It's more with them. I'm here. I work from home. I train my clients upstairs, and I'm here with the dogs. So I'm here 24/7. I see everything.
I am pretty much the same way as you. The only difference, like the thing is, we are in city. We are in a city, and it's a little bit different when you city. I don't know if it's a lot of interruption with the energy and stuff. I don't know what it is, but when you're in a city, it's different than when you're in a country.
But you chose the dog, so it's not an excuse. And I'm not saying you're making an excuse, but to me, it sounds like an excuse because all you got to do, you take them dogs right there, go for a 4-mile walk.
Oh no! I am the 24/7 dog guy.
Right. When you walk the dogs and everything else
every morning,
you have but you don't have nowhere you can go where ain't nobody.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't go to the woods and stuff and let them run. I mean, I have a backyard and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, but
and that's it.
Right, but it has to be somewhere like the football field or school football field.
No, the thing is, they'll call the cops right here. You can't take them anywhere.
No, I'm talking about. Look, you guys sometimes do it at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I lived in the city. You just got to fuck it, man. I gotta get my dogs exercise, and you know what? You see me with the other video. It was black dark outside. Look, you just got to do it. It's to benefit them because it's that stored up energy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Got energy in them.
No, that makes it can be done. You're right. If there's a will, there's a way. You're right.
Because the only thing you got to do is go when people ain't up. Your dogs listen to you. Your dogs are on spot command. See, my dogs will run up to you and everything else and lick you and everything else. But then if you go, rah, then you get bit. But other than that, they ain't bit nobody though. They'll run up to them because they're friendly and everything else. But if you sit there and you swing your arm at them, or you see I tripped or did something and then they jumped up because that's how they are. They don't like to be startled. If they come up to you and everything else and you jump at them and you do something stupid, like that's why I wanted you to come. If you ever could come to Amsterdam, and I want you to do the bite thing because I know exactly what they'll do. They're like, because people are like, what would your dogs do? I was like, okay, not disrespecting nobody out there, but your dogs chew kibble. My dog's been chewing bones ever since 3 weeks old, and they've been going through all kind of bones. So I want to see the jaw strength of them versus the jaw strength of a dog that chew kibble, and we're gonna see what the difference is.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you can. You're right. That's for sure. I mean, not just that. I mean, you got a Mastiffs. Those on a man, they're
But it's the same as a Corso and a Pressa and everything. All these dogs are massive dogs. Fiona got 5 different dogs in her: Bloodhound, Caucasian Shepherd, Mastiff. What's the other one? God, it's 2 more. Mastiff, Hound Dog, or some other.
I know, but you was talking about getting that other dog that bow.
Congo,
the Congo. You talking about
the Russian dog.
The Congo. You talking about the big one, the white one?
No. It's a B. It starts with a B.
The Alba.
Yeah, so so right on my tongue.
Yeah, the Alba.
The Albi or the Albert it's the Russian dog with the hair around his neck.
Yeah, they have the German Shepherd. Was
it the Central Asian Shepherd?
It looks like a Congo. I think is the white German Shepherd, the one, the white
Alibi.
Caucasian
Alibi.
Alibi.
It's Alibi.
Yeah, it's like a Congo. It's almost the same thing as Congos, you know? Yeah.
But
Congo is Turkish and Alibi is Russian. Yeah.
Yeah, the Alibi. Yeah, it's like a Central Asian Shepherd dog. It's the Alibi.
Yeah.
Yeah, them motherfuckers are big. Those are big. Those are big. Have you?
Hey, I heard those Argentinian mask or the Dogo Argentino and stuff. Those are pretty crazy too.
Right, but that's what I'm sitting there telling you. It's, if I get the picture right, if you see the body cut down, look at the body versus the hair. It's the hair that makes the dog look bigger.
Yeah.
We're talking about some beasts.
So if I sit there and take Thanos and put about 5 inches of hair on him, how big you think he'll look? He's 3.5 feet tall when he sits down, and nose to tail, he's 7 feet from tip to tail.
So, my guy from NWA, Kenny Corso, he said he got those. He's based out of, I think he's based out of Arkansas. So he said he got those. He wants you to come on his podcast one day too. He's a good dude.
There's one guy I know right here. He has him. He's Blueface Candles. He got Dobies and Alibi, or I don't know how.
But if they got him here, what they've been feeding them, because they've been feeding them that crap. I don't want them.
No, I think MWA, Kenny Corso, I think they believe in that raw shit. These are guys who they feed the dog the real shit. They don't go to those Petco, PetSmart, none of that whole shit. They get what they're like, and they're in the country too, so they have access to a lot of this raw meat shit. So they do raw meat.
That's what I told people. I'm like, these people and everything else. All they got to do is just send you a couple of boxes up, and you can make your own dog food.
Yeah, they deal with a brother. They deal with a brother. He got a website called I Feed Raw. He's from La Fundacion, based out of Louisiana. He has deer, tripe, beef blend, all that shit. He don't do pork, but he got all the beef and all the deer meat. And he got it packaged in 2.5 pound tubes and 5 pound tubes. And he ship them out 2-day air. He's out of Louisiana. So that's what
only thing you need to add to that is the bones. If he didn't put the bones in there.
Oh no, he's grinding all that up in there. Everything. There's nothing thrown away.
No, but they still need the bones because they got to clean the plaque off their teeth and everything else. So they clean their digestive system out. That's what people don't get. They like, well, dogs eat cooked bones or whatever. It chokes them. No, it chokes dogs that swallow food. And the reason they swallow the food because you ain't giving them enough food. But the bones actually clear out their stomach.
You know what's funny?
Their intestines and everything else.
You know what's funny, Ben, is like I've been feeding my boys raw chicken for over 10 years, right? And I tell everybody talking about, man, the chicken to get into the intestines. I said, listen, the dog acid in their stomachs are a lot more stronger and more acid than a human stomach, number one. Number two, they poop once every 12 hours. And when they poop, it's nuggets, and then it turns into dust. It calcifies. I said the chicken has, other than beef, the chicken has all of the 3 ingredients that dogs must have, period. They got the fat from the skin, they got the calcium from the bone, and they got the meat, the protein from the meat. You can't get that from kibble.
No,
you can't get all of that in kibble.
You ain't get none of it in kibble. That's the whole thing. The same person that told you that, I bet you they had a McDonald's bag in their hand.
Yeah, they did. Or a Jack in the Box.
Because, I mean, it's the same identical thing. They're telling you what your dog don't supposed to eat, and then I tell them what they don't supposed to eat, then they get the panties in a bunch. It's the same identical thing.
You know what? I know you deal with this a lot, so I'm going to mention it. And Leo probably been dealing with it a lot longer than me because Leo's been breeding longer than I have. I've been in the game 15, 16 years. Leo's been around the game almost his whole life.
And I just started.
Yeah. And so I get a lot of shit. And this is just, you don't have to deal with this part, but you deal with the gigabyte gangsterism. I deal with a lot of shit where people talk, oh, you mutilated the dog when you got his ears and tails cropped. And I said, you know what? He said, it's inhumane. You should go to hell and never come back. I said, you know what? And this is my response. It's been shutting their ass down. I said, you know what, Robert? Because usually it's a guy talking that shit, right? I said, you know what? You're right. You should be mad at your mama, and I should be mad at mine for getting her circumcised without any pain meds, and it could have been traumatic. So what was the point of getting circumcised? Well, you know what? Do we really know why? Or is it cosmetic? Because we get the Dobie ears cut primarily because because cosmetically it's how the dog was designed, but it also keeps down ear infections, right? Because these dogs' ears don't stand up. They flop.
So they not just flop, they close up really like straight, and they will close up the whole ear, you know?
Just like bloodhounds. They that's why they get ear infections more than most. And so everybody out there talking mad shit about me cropping and docking, they need to open their pants up if they can see their dick without looking in the mirror and say, damn, I need to be mad at my mama for getting me mutilated. And so what kind of shit you been hearing, man? What's the biggest?
Okay. Mine on that is funny because you want these plastic lips, these fake titties, and there's all this thunder ass or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's cosmetic and everything else. And they look like shit anyway because they got filters on their face. Aesthetically, my dad dog had cropped ears too. It's your preference. It's your fucking animal. You do what you want with it. I mean, it doesn't matter for your dog and the service and everything else. Yeah, sharp ears, tail, and everything. It's supposed to be like that. But somebody that's on a farm, long tail German, and everything else is totally different. My dog's ears stand up. I understand what you're talking about, flopping over and everything else, just like the hound. I tell people if that happens and everything else too, foot powder. Try to spring a little bit of foot powder in their ear and everything else and shake it up in there. It'll make the ear infection go away. The worm stuff, heartworm medicine. Yeah, heartworm medicine. It's called fiber. They're stool soft. You know why they're stool soft? Because they eat dog food. You
can never win in that, Gerald. If you leave them natural, then that's gonna be ones that complain about natural, then the ones that,
but speak about that dog food. So here's Ben. I made a good point when we talked too before we went on tried to go live a couple of weeks ago. I said, you know, Ben said his dogs don't go to the vet for 10 years and they may get their rabies shots. That's about it. I said, you know what? What's funny, what's interesting, these large vets or even the smaller vets, when you walk in on somewhere on their shelves in that hallway in the waiting room, they selling dog food.
I don't do vets.
Have you noticed that shit?
I don't do shots. I don't believe in shots. I don't do vets.
See, but that's my whole point. People don't understand the law. Don't take your dog to dog parks. That's for lazy people. Smoking cigarettes, drinking on the bench, looking at your dog running around, eating shit and getting sick like the other dogs. Take your dogs for a walk. That's why you got your dog. You're supposed to exercise your dog. I mean, people, when the vet part, 10 years, no vet, no vaccination. For what? Once again, I grew up down south. We didn't hear about that. We didn't hear about none of that stuff.
I don't vaccinate mine either. Yeah.
People can vaccinate their dogs because if you got to take your dog to daycare, you got to have vaccination because it's all about the money. Your dogs don't need no vaccination. I'm showing you your dogs don't need no vaccination. Look at mine.
No, no, after 14 weeks, those dogs are unbeatable. Like that, their immune system, it's once the thing kicks in, and then nothing can beat it. You know.
And another thing, how I do my dogs and why their immune system is jacked up like it is. When they're born, I do little to their room. They're like, what do you mean? I do little to their room because the other animals stay in that hole for 6 weeks. You imagine the stink and the smell and everything else coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't building up nothing. Every time you sitting there and your dog doing this or that, you wiping them off, you putting Clorox on, you putting all this crap on your dog and everything else. How is it going to build up its immune system?
Mm-hmm.
People don't do it right because people try to do it like babies, or I'm trying to do it because my dad wasn't there, so I'm going to show him, and they still messing it up. Dogs don't supposed to be running around in swimming pools unless there's water in it. You should see all the people that got their dogs just circling swimming pools. It ain't teaching them nothing. Why don't you let them out in the backyard? Let them run around. Let them stretch their legs out. Oh, because you don't want to mess up your backyard. You don't want to mess up this show. You shouldn't do breed dogs.
That's right.
It's just a subtle income for people. People don't do it for the passion. I do it for the passion. I started selling my puppies at 12 weeks. Everybody else started 2 weeks sometimes.
If you don't give them shots, yeah, about 12 weeks is a good time, yeah.
Right, but still within the 12 weeks, my puppies are still about 50 pounds.
Yeah, big. Same
So,
with,
I mean, so they're constantly growing, so that's showing you right there the immune system is gone. I know which puppies are going to die when she have them. I'm not one of the ones that sit there and save a puppy. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to sell somebody a sick puppy. When she had a puppy, when she had a puppy, no, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. I watch. I sit there and I watch her because I learned from my past mistakes. She had a puppies and she'll clean them off. She'll do this, that, and next. If one gets stuck because they're big, I help them come out. I put the puppy right there. She'll lick them and she'll clean them. She'll skip by some of them, and the ones she skip by, guess what? I don't do nothing. I move them away now because I know she'll eat them. And they're like, why? Because it's for the sacrifice of the other puppies that's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 didn't die. She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 died. 6, 7, 8, 9 died. 10, 11, 12 lived. I mean, it's an order. The universe knows how to do it because if them puppies didn't die, all the puppies could have died. That's why she has so many. The sacrifice. You don't supposed to save them sick puppies. Well, people, I'm going to save the puppy. Then it's costing these people all this money and everything else. Then people like me, you, and everybody else get bad names. Or you this or you that. No, we're not. We didn't tell them people to do that. I do none of that. I try to keep my dogs as undomesticated as possible. I've been in here talking to you guys. Y'all see me let the dogs out. Did y'all hear me call them dogs back in here?
No.
They came back in on their own. Because that's how you train them and everything else. If I got to sit there and tell you to do this, this, and this, and this, I mean, damn, I may as well just do it myself.
Right. Now, do you feed them? Do you give them chicken at all or no?
I had to get them chicken, deer, and that's basically it. My man across the street, he hunts, so sometimes I give him fish and bear, or whatever. But that's mostly the part that we eat and everything else, because when you shoot them, you can't take the scraps and everything else. So it's a very seldom do I get them bear, this, that, and the next, but mostly deer.
How about deer? And you use the hearts, the liver, everything, right?
I give them, you'll see it. I drag the whole deer carcass out there, and this time I don't cut up nothing. I just throw everything out there and just let them go at it.
And they do. They clean up everything, huh?
No, they don't clean it up. This is the funny part. It stays out there.
So they go.
And then they'll go out there tomorrow, and then they eat it. Then they go out there tomorrow, and then they eat it.
Right.
And then it'll sit out there for 2 years, and then they'll go dig it up, and then they'll eat it.
Oh, okay, I see.
The puppies are eating deer from last year, and I haven't had deer yet. The bones and stuff. Their systems are built up.
Yeah,
you see them running through the bushes and all the weeds and swimming in the pond. Oh my God, you got your dogs in that pond. That's spring water.
Now let me ask you this: how much do your puppies go for?
25. It was 2,500 to 5,000 for the smallest one. 5,000 for the 2 males. Both males where I got right now. One is I'm gonna weigh him next week. One is over 90 pounds and he's 5 months, and the other one is around 80 pounds up under him.
Have you named them yet?
Nope, because they're not my dogs yet.
Right. I do the same thing. I don't name them because I don't. They're
Nope.
not my dogs. Yeah.
I got. You should see the list of people that got interested in the dog, but I live here. I live here. It's your dog and it's your trip. I could take money off of it for you coming out here because it's not about the 5,000. It's about placing them in good homes. So when I call you next year and say, how's the dog doing? And then I'm on here doing my puppies, you could give me a good reference like everybody else can.
True. That's how we get customers, you know?
No,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. Who got your dog right here? You have any incidents with your dog? Nope. How many people got your dog? This person got 3. This person got 2. 4-H dogs. Dogs that did in the daycare. Dogs around people. My dogs are everywhere.
True.
They guard dogs. They one owner dogs, just like your Doberman. If something was to happen to you, your wife and nobody could control that dog. That dog would be put down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Because once the pack leader go, guess what? The dogs step up in place.
That's right.
And people are like, oh, I don't know what you thought. Well, in your household, if you got kids and you got a wife and a husband, y'all need to make sure that y'all ahead of that dog. Stop teaching that dog how to get high fives. What if you go up to a kid, slap the kid upside the head, jumping up on the kid?
They like the society's changing. They make a gay people too. It's like it's getting fruity, you know.
Stop teaching dogs how to high five. That's crazy because, again, they've taken the animal instinct out of the animal. Listen, they want the Mastiff. They want the Dobies. They want the Rotties. They want that image. They want that tangible look.
They just can't handle it.
But they keep forgetting about the intangibles.
Yeah. They can get that. They can pay me some money and I can let them run out in the field and let your dog be a dog and then see if your dog come back. Let's see what happens. Okay, both of y'all on here. Y'all been around the dog business. I was in the hospital. I'm gonna run this through both of you guys. I was in the hospital. I had neck surgery. I had my 3, 4, 5, 6 replaced. My neck 3, 4, 5, 6 replaced in my neck. I was basically walking around with no spinal cord because of weightlifting and everything else. That was basically holding my neck up. She like one sharp move, you could have just died. 4 days in the hospital. Y'all know how it is. I come home, first thing I want to do, hey babies, how y'all doing? This, that, and the next and everything else. And we had a little emotional moment. I said, okay, let's go for a walk. Same backyard, nothing different. Only thing I haven't been out there for 4 days. It was a mild summer that time. We went all the way up to the hill, to the top, in the back. I was coming back. Thanos, Gamora, Fiona, and Simba stopped. And they started circling. And they started barking. They would not move until Copper came in. Copper came in, that's when you watch the video. Copper going right in, then that's when all hell break loose. I got a stick and a camera because I'm like, if anything happened to me, at least they know what happened. And I'm hollering at my dogs. And I got blood dripping on my neck. You ain't got no good recall. I'm like, what? Recall? I'm trying to understand why my dog's fighting Yogi Bear because I ain't teach them this. I didn't teach them none of this. They beat the bear up. Oh, that was a cub. No, that was a 300-pound bear.
Mm-hmm. They knew.
They knew what to do. And that made me proud, man. I came home trying to find all kinds of meat and stuff to get them when they got back here.
It says rewards.
Yeah, this is when you're going to get a treat. I ain't teach you how to fight a bear. I'm running back to the house, all out of breath and shit. I bet my dog's just like, yeah, we did it, didn't we? I mean, they weren't doing nothing.
Right.
And then I called him. Copper was the last one to come back, scratching his head. But that's what I told people. Copper runs the pack. Fiona runs everybody. And Copper runs the males. Gamora is Fiona's daughter. If Fiona wants something from anybody, she goes up to him, bows her head down, and growl. If they don't drop it, she bite them. But everybody drops it. The female runs the pack. It's not the male dog. It's the females that run that pack. They're like, who's the alpha, Fiona? Watch any of my videos. She got her tail curled up, just like she a dude. And she be hump checking them out there.
Yeah, I have the same thing. There's a female right here that she actually pretty much run the whole household. Maya, my oldest female, she's about 8.5 right now. Oh man,
No, but that's what I, but,
Everybody puts their head down on her. Everybody.
but that's what I tell people. I'm like, she's the littlest one.
And mine is the littlest one too. But she don't play around. She don't play around. Yeah.
I told people that. I said, when you start witnessing what's going on and everything else, you understand. Like what dog will protect you more? A female. Yeah. You get a male and they be big and everything. Get a female.
Female. That's why I always tell everybody.
Female will protect you faster than that male will.
Yeah, females are 10 times more alert than a male.
Your male will fight another dog quicker than your male. But as far as protection, it's the female.
Yeah, female won't even let the fly pass by the house. What do you mean? Like they won't even let a butterfly pass through it. They go for it, you know?
But if you got money, like you said, with security and everything else, you need a male. Yeah, you need that male. But the female, as far as your guard dog in your house, no,
that's your alarm right there. Yeah.
That's your alarm right there. She don't play.
Right there.
You know what I've been telling people.
He's right.
And I'm gonna bounce this off of you, Ben. I'm gonna see what you think. Me and you have, and Leo, we're a little bit older than Leo, not too much, right?
Yeah.
I'm 53 this year. And
48.
How old are you, Leo?
40.
Okay.
40.
Oh, you look older than 40. That's what I gotta tell you, like they tell me.
Hey, but
you like
because of the dogs, huh?
Hey, but what I was going with this is that we've interacted with people all our life, from childhood to adolescent and to grown adulthood. And even my mother or even my grandparents, there was never 100% consistency. If your mama had a bad day, she had a bad day. If your brother had a bad day, he had a bad day, right? But I can't name one human being that is as consistent as a dog. I could be gone 4 days, 4 years, 4 months, 4 hours. And my dogs would act like I've been gone 2 minutes. He'll come to that gate. When he hear that damn garage door open, they already know it's me. And they running back and forth. Now, when they don't do that, I know something is physically wrong with them. Because I think, and it took me a long time to understand this, because I had animals around me growing up, but I never had the chance to really own one as part of the family growing up, until I got divorced. And I said, you know what? Her ass out of this house. I'm going to do what I want to. And when I got my first animal, and I didn't realize why so many people were crying when they dogs and cats. I was like, a fucking dog. You get another one. But what I realized is that my first dog got me out of depression. I was going through a depression, recession, and a divorce all at the same time. And dogs they do one thing that no human can do. They stay consistent. And they're truly a man's best friend, a human's best friend. That's why somebody said, well, what dog spelled backwards is God. But I think that's what you are. Yeah. That's another whole story we can get on. Yeah. I'm like, okay, y'all believe in everybody believe in what they want to believe in. I already told them, who told you this? I said, if I ain't mistaken, I said the Roman Catholics went around killing and cutting people's heads off and making you believe a certain religion. Yep. And that's what the Muslims did too. So if you don't know what you believe in, you was forced to believe in something that you don't even know nothing about. Right. Who is the higher power? You are. That's what people don't get. You're higher, your energy. Right. Your body runs off of energy. Distilled water conducts energy versus spring water and all this other crap. That's what your body needs. The fruits give your body energy. Taking your shoes off, walking on the ground connects you back to the earth. Sitting there being in the sun does this. That's crazy you say that. Ben, I used to go to the grocery store. First of all, you know how hot it gets in Mississippi, right? Yeah. I used to go to the grocery store. We walked barefooted. I remember that. We were barefooted. And when you get into the grocery store, that floor is so cold. Hell yeah. But you see the difference in your body. Yeah. Your body's like even though it's cold at first,
Look how your body get adapted to it by the time you leave. And then as soon as you go back out there, you jumping your feet up because the ground hot.
Yes. And I say that because, you know, it got so bad in the South. People say you got to, it says shirts and shoes, please, when you walk in. Because we were going as kids with our shirts off too. I mean, you know, it's hot in the summer.
That's just because that's the way it's people that got it's sensitive. And people, I mean, I can't have my shirt off, but I can get some titties.
Right.
And box somebody.
That's true.
That's true. You can call yourself a woman. You can cut your. I was talking about that today. You cut your balls up. Now you're a woman.
I mean, so if I go to the airport and identify as a pilot, you gonna just let me on there?
Shit. They gonna put it in no fly.
Probably they'll probably let you fly this.
I mean, but that's my whole point, though. I mean, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
What's the biggest negative feedback you've been getting? Because, you know, like I say, people are gigabyte gangsters. They talk a lot of shit.
It's a lot of people are trolls and kins, and I agitate them because you got to have both. I just can't have people agreeing with me. I want to hear what these numbskulls have to say, because guess what? It ain't true, but if you could sit there and be a grown-ass man and type it on there, I got your attention. Because you're doing something wrong at home, and I done got you mad, or your girl done seen my picture on there, and she's mad because you don't look like me. I mean, I don't know. Like, why you don't look like him?
You do have a lot of female followers, Ben.
Right, but I haven't even been working out yet. Wait till I start working out. I just got my right arm to be moving and everything else. I mean, wait till I actually start working out. This is cardio and eating correctly.
We all do really good.
Hey, Leo.
Because I tell people, just like you were talking about, Leo was talking about earlier, you've been taught. See, I told people when we say, who told you? We've been taught since school, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack.
Yeah.
And we roll that over into adulthood.
We've been taught that since we were born, bro.
Breakfast really mean breaking fast.
So
if I stop eating at 10 o'clock at night or 11, no, I stop eating before the sun go down. So 7 o'clock. I don't eat till 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My body dumps all the impurities because I still like drinking ginger ale and I still like my salt and vinegar chips. Other than that, I eat everything with seeds in it. So I pick my poison.
How about carbs? You eat carbs or no?
I eat black rice and yams. So when people sit there and I'm like, well, you drink alcohol, tequila, agave plant, that's it. Them other alcohols that y'all drinking, God knows what's in it. And it's poison. It's 100% poison. Every time I take a shot of tequila, I'm like, "Whoa, this is poison." But and it's just that though.
I remember.
No, go ahead.
I remember you. You had a clip on TikTok, and it was some motherfuckers just going in prior to the video for you to make that video. I think some of your videos are a response to the clowns who respond to another video.
Oh,
right?
I like my point is, I told you, I like proving a point.
Yeah.
If you something, go ahead.
So what I was going with this is that you was like you was talking about how you feed your dogs and how they look fit, and you feed them once every 5 days, and then you said, well, look, I'm 230 pounds. How much you weigh? 230. I'm 230 pounds. But you wouldn't believe it, and then you lift your shirt up and you was all peeled. You said, do you believe it? Do you believe it? And then you lift your legs up and said, do you believe it? Because they didn't think that the weight equates to fitness. You see what I'm saying? They didn't think a dog that's 250 equates to a healthy, fit dog. And you had to prove to them.
It's proven to them, but it's still going back and showing them. Your dog ain't eating to get big and fit. Your dog is eating to be bloated.
Yeah. Well, that's
what it is. In order for your dog to sit there and be big and healthy, it has to eat raw food. Every one of us lift weights.
Yeah.
Try eating cereal all day long and see what happened to you. Oh, you're gonna get big, you can put weight on, but it ain't gonna be the kind of weight you like. It's all stored up fat.
So we got some questions from the people. I want to see, can we answer those? Question number one.
The three of us?
Yeah. Zach asks, What about females? Do they fight? He was
They
talking about
do.
yours.
They do. Mine they haven't, but I have had females before that they will tear each if they fight.
But he was there was I
It
think Zach was asking about Ben's females.
it's it just like with his dogs. It's all about the respect. If
Yeah, I
long as
guess.
Grimoire puts her head down, she won't get in trouble. If she keeps her head up, she won't get beat up. And there's nothing I can do about it because no matter where I'm at, they're gonna always do it. They got to get it out. They got to get it out of their system. They ain't gonna kill
Yeah.
each other, but that's what they're gonna do. They're going to sit there and like, look, I'm still the owner. I'm
They,
still
they
this,
touch
that,
each,
and they,
they touch each other up. I remember my boy Lewis, a Black Mass Kennel. First of all, we don't advocate dog fighting, right? But in order for dogs to establish positions, if you notice out in the wild, when these animals fight, a lot of them don't fight to the death. They fight to touch each other like, okay, you on your back. I'm running shit now. So sometimes they would, Lewis said they would let the males just get it out their system to establish who's running that pack. So at some point, dogs will touch each other up to like, okay, I'm not the one. Or you, or it may be that the other dog is the one now, right? So I mean, it's like your siblings. You're gonna fight your siblings growing up. It's just
right, but
natural.
also is still is that chemical imbalance because the dogs won't do that if they're eating right. That's what I tell people. You are what you eat. If you eat a bunch of chemicals, you're not functioning right. You see people working and driving and doing all this stuff. They're not eating right. You're still functioning, but you're still not living right. And
Yep.
that's what I told you with Leo. Leo sat there and said the same thing with his females. I never seen it. All I seen was Fiona goes up to Grimoire and Grimoire rolls on her back. Her lips is a real low vibration. I mean, you really got to be listening for that shit to hear it. And once I hear it, then I look. And then I make sure it don't go past that and everything else. Because I make sure Grimoire, I don't make sure, but I see Grimoire doing her thing and everything else. When Fiona get too old, then Grimoire gonna take her spot. But Fiona's 10 years old. She ain't giving up nothing. She had
Right.
4 litters.
One thing I
4
like
litters
what
of
you
puppies.
said. One thing I like what you said. You're right. If you raise your dogs, you see, if your dogs are in the kennel and they're raised and born there and created in that house and they grew up there, they all know each other. It's a little bit different. Now, we do bring females. Like I would get a female. Usually when they fight, mine like the females. Like if I would, a lot of dogs are passing through. I import a lot of dogs from Europe, and then I will get the female, and female is year old, year and a half old, just came from Europe, and I'm having her holding it in the house for 5-6 days until the owner comes and picks her up. That's when I have problems. But the ones that actually grew up together since they were little and born and all that, I don't. You're right. I don't get that issues with the ones
Right,
that they're born in the house. Yeah.
because you have an established pack.
Right.
Once you
That's
have an
right.
established
Yeah.
pack, you can't just bring another dog in there without them checking that dog.
That's what that's when the problem starts. When I actually bring the
That's
dog,
the problem.
that's the problem. Yeah.
Right.
You're
Right.
absolutely
That's
right.
what I tell people. I'm like, look, if you got a dog, don't bring your dog here. I said, because if you bring it here, let me know if you're gonna bring the dog here, so I can bring the least aggressive dog out
Right.
and everything else, because all the dogs not gonna accept your dog.
No, I don't. I
And the
tell
least
people,
aggressive one,
yeah,
no.
no bringing dogs in my
Go
house
ahead.
besides if we breed and stuff, or if it's a female, they see the male. If it's a male, they see the female, and that's it. Outside. Yeah.
Oh no, this stays outside in the yard. We be away from the yard and everything else. I don't be nowhere here. I had the dogs all locked up in the house first.
But
because
that's
I never
when
know
I
how
do.
people are and everything else.
Yeah, they don't know. It takes a second, and if they don't like the energy on the other dog. Oh man, I have noticed it. I have noticed that a lot. I will bring a dog from Europe and stuff, 1 or 2 years old, female, and she will stay in the house, and then I can tell just by they'll pass by her in the cage, and I don't put them together, but I can tell the hair stands up and they're like all moody and stuff. You know what I mean?
Because
I'm like, yep, he's staying in here.
it's just like you coming home right now and seeing me sit in your living room.
I know, bringing an outsider and stuff. Yeah, with a.
I mean, that's exactly how they feel.
Yeah, you
But
right.
I told people when you sit there, if you sit there and you get a puppy, you need to get the puppy at the earliest convenience,
Right,
and you need to be having a litter of puppies.
right,
That's the only way that dog is going to get accepted in
right,
there, if it's a part of the litter.
right.
If it ain't part of that litter, it's going to have issues
Yeah,
because they're going to like, this is an outsider. We ain't seen this puppy and everything. Where does puppy come from?
yeah. There's
It's
a lot
eating
of
like
truth.
us.
Yeah,
They
you're
want
right.
these
There's a lot. You
Copper,
make a lot of
Simba,
sense.
Thanos, Grimoire, and Fiona. They all watched these puppies grow up in here. They couldn't stand the puppies for the first 6 weeks.
So
They couldn't
here's
stand the little jokers.
so Ben, here's another question from Kyle, the Caney Corso guy. Are Ben's dogs all a part of the family, or how many are related?
No, Leo is the father, which ain't here. Fiona is they're all of them parents.
Okay. And then
Third
Kyle has,
generation, sixth generation.
and Kyle also asks, Ben breeds? How does Ben breeds his dogs? What is his selection process? Well, we hit on that,
Yeah.
and I think Ben said that Fiona determines who she wants to breed to.
Yeah, and then Grimoire determines and everything else. It was between Copper and Simba because Thanos' Grimoire was in the same litter with Grimoire. So it's between Simba and Copper.
Then,
Simba plays around too much. Copper goes straight to business. Copper go out there and grab her by the hips and just start going crazy. Simba want to lick her ear and chase her around and stuff. So it depends how she feel. If she want to
so
run the fields, she'll take Simba. If she want to stay in the backyard, she'll take Copper.
so question. So are they? Because I know about line breeding. Okay, so is Copper and Thanos the sons of Fiona?
Fiona and Leo.
Okay. So the way we improve the gene that we're looking for when we're breeders, we'll have the father sometime on both sides. In this case, she'll breed back to her son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah. So
Right,
that's how you.
that's how I did it. Leo is an English Mastiff. They're the biggest Mastiffs and everything else. And Fiona, I would say is the most. I think Fiona is the baddest Mastiff. The Fila is the baddest Mastiff. I don't care what nobody say and everything. Holy shit, camera. Technical difficulties. And Fiona is the most aggressive, which is the Brazilian Fila. I waited. We took Fiona and Leo and put them together and had Copper and Simba. I waited 3 years with Copper and Simba because I wanted to see their temperament and everything else. And I took them around stuff. And I'm like, okay, Simba doesn't like horses. Copper, and they're basically friendly. And we went to the dog park. That's the first time I experienced a pit bull locking on my dog and seeing what she can do. Fiona. They was in a dog park. A double XL bully came up and everything else. And the woman didn't have no control of her dog. But I heard that once pit bull lock on your dog, they won't let go. I found out that to be a lie. What happened was they went around. Her pit bull ran up on Fiona. Fiona stood her ground with her tail curled up, and the dog sniffed her. Fiona didn't pay her no mind. They did that little dance. The pit bull locked on her neck. I grabbed the pit bull by the collar and I asked the woman, "Do she want her dog alive or dead?" How my dog locked on your dog? I said, "Do you want your dog alive or dead?" Because I'm serious. Because I already know, dude. If you understand anything about feelers and anything else, they got dewlap on their neck for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I'm scared. Just that the next thing, I ended up getting bit. Had the dog by the collar like this. Fiona turned her head all the way around, bit that dog all up in the face. The dog let go. The dog runs back because that's a pit bull. She ran and hit the dog. The dog rolls over. Fiona's bigger than this dog. I grabbed the dog up by the collar. I got bit. I gave the dog back to the woman. And that was my last time going to the dog park.
Yeah, I don't do dog parks.
You too. That's
don't do
exactly
dog parks,
what
man.
happened. That's exactly what happened with dog parks.
Ben, I never do dog park because you got all these granola motherfuckers. Go ahead.
Right, but when people sit there and say, are your dog good with kids? Yeah, because I had 5 pit bulls in there with my 3 dogs, and then nothing happened. It's a video. Kid running around, this, that, and the next, and everything else. Somebody brought a dog there, trying my dog out, and they don't understand that you got a pit bull. Size matters.
Oh yeah.
Your
size
dog
matters.
like to lock onto things. My dog like to constantly bite. And the radius of her head, she can turn her head almost 360 degrees. She has all that dewlap on her neck. That's what it's for. So I'm saying it wasn't a chance. She hit your dog. Your dog rolled over. Only thing would have, and Copper and Simba was standing in the background. That's what I'm saying. They let Fiona do her thing because they could have easily came over there and finished her off.
I'm still tripping on you. You gave her an option. You want them dead or alive?
Because I'm not playing with your dog. Because if my dog did something to if my dog ran up on you, what would you do? Same thing. You'll give me an option. Do you want your dog dead or alive? Because if I let my dog go, it's going to be over.
That's true.
I mean, it's the same thing. People. I'm not making. Look, I broke the fight up. She didn't even come over there to do anything. If I didn't come over there, Copper and Simba would have came over there and definitely would have killed the dog.
I got a little electric, like a little taser. It's
counter guard.
Yeah. Man, as soon as you fire it up, because there's a lot of dogs where I'm at, and sometimes they're just running around wild, loose. So
I use a stun gun, but I don't go to dog parks. I don't go to beach.
No, I walk them. I just walk them, and I ride a bike and stuff in the morning, or when I walk them, you will still see like dogs running, running wild right here.
See something like that. My dogs be fighting. See, I'm glad I'm not there because my dogs don't play that. A free running dog. Oh my God, man, that'd be horrible.
This one happens all the time right here, actually.
And nobody heard nothing about that, but they hear about you. Everybody heard about these other dogs running around here, and then them dogs, they ain't going to the vet.
No, yeah.
What they eating? It ain't kibble.
That's true.
Well, I tell you what, man.
It's true.
This has been a hell of a conversation, and NWA Caney Corso, they got a large following, and they say they're gonna call you because then there's not a lot of people who are connected to the animal like you. You know what I'm saying? You vibe with them. It's spiritual. You know when something's wrong. They know when something's wrong with you. A lot of people get into a lot of different breeds for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have a passion for the animal before you do anything. Anything you do, you're trying to make money, it's got to be a passion first.
That's right.
Correct.
You got to be.
It's the same with Leo, being at home with the dog 24/7. It's a difference between raising a dog and having a dog.
No, I speak about that stuff all the time.
You can have anybody can have a dog. Your dog tearing up your house, destroying everything, doing all this and that. These dogs have their own room.
Yeah, mine have their own room stuff.
Right.
Same thing.
We've been on here an hour and 22 minutes. Nobody dogs barking. None of our dogs barking.
Yeah. I got 4 rooms in each, and there's a dog in each room. Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's no barking, no craziness, and everything else, and people can't understand that because it's your energy you give off. If you're nervous,
but you gotta be. That's right. I'm a lot like you. Yeah.
They're gonna pick up on it. I mean, these dogs are not stupid.
No, they get everything. They get everything off of you. They become you. You become them 100%. If you don't do that, like, I understand people that have one dog, it's a little bit easier to control, but I got 7, so to control 7 dogs, like, you got to be in it. Like, you really got to be in it, because if I'm not in it, then I'm going to start losing dogs. I'm going to start fighting.
You got 7. I got 11 here.
Yeah. Well, I got 7. Technically, I got 9.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You got the dog.
Yeah. You're right.
No shot collars, no electric.
You gotta be full time with this.
Imagine how much money you're gonna be paying to just because you don't want to take the time out to discipline your dog. You're gonna try to use a cheaper method. And I'm telling people, these electric fences don't work.
No,
they're like, what do you mean? Put the electric collar on my dog, and I guarantee he still run across that thing.
Mine does the same thing. I was telling Gerald, I put the electric colors, man. Doesn't nothing, if I'm not home and something's happening, man, nothing stops him. For sure, 100%.
We had a rabbits and everything else. Like I was saying, rabbits and whatever. The rabbits run across the road. Man, them puppies jump the ditch, take off. I mean, and they were like, what you mean? That ditch is 6 feet long, 6 feet wide, 6 to 7 feet wide. I said, them puppies could damn near jump over the ditch and everything else. They jump up to the top of it, or not all the way over, but to the top of it. And I said, the brown puppy did it already. I said, they swimming. The brown puppy, the pink puppy, I didn't teach them how to swim. They're just realizing that you can't swim and play at the same time because you drown.
They'll figure that shit out.
Yeah, but I sit there and take them up to the pond every day, and they go swimming. And every day, the pink puppy decides that she wants to play in the water, drowns every damn time we go out there.
That's the only
And I'm
thing
laughing.
I wish we had a little bit more country right here, but you know.
Well, I'll tell you what,
but
guys.
but you never know. I mean, who knows? We might link up, and you might decide, well, I want to come out there with Ben and put your house out here.
Well, I know exactly where you at. I know exactly. I've been there. You know, I've been there a lot of times. I have drove yeah.
Come out. That's what I'm saying. Come out and see it and everything else, because people
It's
don't
beautiful.
Really realize.
It's beautiful just to see so much nature, man. A lot of houses have like 2-3 acres. It's really is beautiful. Just to
people like here. I'll take this camera up. You can see out there. That's the yard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, we don't have that luxury. I wish I'd have that. You know,
no neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, Ben, I would say it was a pleasure, man. Let me see. Yeah. Who's got some comment right here? What is this? What about breeding with controlled aggression dogs? We can't get into it, Melissa. I wish I could. You're part of the fam. But we've been on here. We can do this shit for another hour.
Melissa is in Detroit. I think Michigan. I know Melissa.
Let's just go. Let's do about 10 more minutes. 10, 15 more minutes.
Okay. So answer that question, Ben. What about breeders with controlled aggression dogs?
With controlled aggression dogs. I mean, it depends on, first of all, it depends on why are you training the dog to be whatever it is anyway. Everybody, it's like with you. Your dog ain't aggressive until you make it aggressive. But why are you specifically training your dog to just bite somebody when they throw their arm up in the air?
Yeah. And again, I think it goes back to being where people get these personal, genetically created dogs to do guardian compounding, personal protection, all these dogs that were designed for a purpose, and they forget that these dogs have that instinct to fulfill that purpose. And when you tap into that actual instinct, you have to know and I always say this, you know, I love personal protection for my dog, because personal protection is really obedience training, because you're teaching the dog to identify what's a threat, what's not a threat, how to shut it on, and how to shut it off. The problem is people want to tap into that aggression of those dogs and they call it control. But at some point, that dog gonna get out that yard. Is he gonna listen to you?
Right, but that goes up back being a pack leader. You're not a pack leader. You just got a dog for show and tell, and that's why you shouldn't have a dog.
Yeah.
Because for most people and everything else, I mean, why do you need your dog aggressive? Can you not fight at all? I thought your dog is for the house. The dog is to protect the house and me in the house. If I go outside the house, I can hold my own.
Yeah.
I don't need to walk my dog everywhere. Oh shit, I'm going to the bank. Come on,
I like that.
I'm bringing all the dogs. Why? Because I'm going to the bank. I mean, for what?
Yeah.
These
Good
people
point.
can't fight. These same thugs that go to jail and get fucked in the ass. The same
all
one.
the time.
The
all
same
the time.
Exact one. Giving up booty.
That's right. Yeah. Don't drop the soap.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, you can't sit there and tell me that your dog is aggressive and it's like this unless you're doing something to make the dog aggressive. And I see people videos. They antagonize the dog. And you giving the dog chemicals and you're antagonizing it because you just got finished eating McDonald's, and both of y'all crazy.
Well, you know,
I mean,
what they
you
do is
shouldn't have a dog.
They tie them up. They make a little house and stuff, and they tie them up on a tree next to their house, and they live their life for 2-3 years, right up tied up on a chain up by the tree, and that will get them real real nasty.
Yeah, that'll get you. They get anybody. It'll get your dog aggressive,
Yeah.
but it's still gonna get your dog beat up.
It will get mentally. That's what will make them mentally unstable. You know, that's when it will be. The dogs will be. They will not.
If I did, if I did that to a person, if I did that to look at the people in jail, it's the same identical thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You put somebody in jail, it's the same identical thing what people are sitting there doing.
But
it's
that's
no
how
different.
they make them aggressive. Yeah.
If you look at most of the breeders and you look at the people in jail, it's the same identical thing. They got a cage. They got a cage. The warden come down there, or whoever, the police officer come down there. They bring them food. They bring them food. They get on water. They get on water. They get on rec time. They get on rec time. And then they're saying, "Here, buy my puppy." Who want to buy that much shit that's created outside? I'm not buying that shit.
Right,
and I sit there and laugh at people and everything else. For what? You have did nothing to that dog. I haven't trained these dogs with no collars and everything else. They're like, why? They ain't my dogs yet. When they become my dogs, I train them. You want to pay me more money to put the collar on them and train them, I do it. But I'm not doing it. It's your job to bond with that dog. I'm not going to do all the work.
Thing is to change. Yeah, thing is, anything can be done. It will take a lot of work to change your behavior, especially on a dog. Lots of work.
Right, that's why I say it got to get used to your style and everything else, because my dogs know it's my voice, it's my whistle.
Yeah.
If I sit there and whistle and call for you and you don't come in here, guess where you're gonna be at? Outside. You're like, what you mean? Outside all night? I don't care. You fight them wolves and coyotes out there because you know they're out there.
Next time you call, they're gonna be there.
And no fucking mountain lions out there too.
Because we got bobcats and we got coy dogs and we got a hybrid, some kind of it's like a timberwolf thing that be running around here. But for the most of it, it's coy dogs. I mean, coyotes. And people like, well, what do your dogs do with coyotes? I say, this is how it happens. My dogs were in the house. The coyote was out there. It was one female out there, and I could see the eyes or whatever. She lured Copper out there, and she didn't know Thanos and Simba and the rest of them was behind them. So Copper runs out there. She runs back towards the bushes back here, because I guess that's where the rest of the coyotes was.
Yeah, that's what they do. They bring that's what they do.
When Copper made that little whoop, that little noise like this, everybody shot out the door. So then the dog runs the opposite way and then balls up. And then I could tell you what happened next. She got tore up. I couldn't break it up. I couldn't do nothing. They destroyed that coyote. They just, because the coyote didn't fight. She balled up. Like literally turned a little ball, and I mean, you can't play possum with your dog. You called them out there, and this is what happens.
They send the bait. They set the females for bait and stuff, and then it draws them to. It will take the dog to the bushes where the rest of the coyotes, and then they'll attack. You know,
it didn't work that way this time.
It's always when I bring deer carcasses out here. I'm gonna bring a whole deer out there, and then the next day the whole deer gonna be gone, and that's the bear that came out and took the deer. Okay. Both sides of us, and the bear there stacked the whole deer carcass up. The coyotes can't pull it. It's the bear. The bear picks it up and brings it in the woods and walking through there sometime. And we're like, oh, the bear ate the deer at.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna worry about anything with them 11 wolves in the house.
No. Somebody's coming to get the dogs and everything else. I'm not worried about it, but I think they think I'm gonna drop my price down. But I keep showing them the land. Look, my dog eats every 5 to 6 days, and it's cheaper.
Do you don't ship dogs, do you?
Nope.
Shipping. You don't do shipping?
Because if I ship the dog never been in a crate before.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean, and then you don't know the
and then
people.
It's gonna freak out, and you're gonna bring it to somebody they ain't never seen before. Mm-hmm. What if you ain't a good match? What if the energy ain't right? What if you need kind of a laid back dog?
That happens a lot. That happens a lot, and you will get the return. Oh, we can't handle the dog.
They can get a return, but they ain't get their money back.
But I don't even do it because they ruin your name. And that's all it takes to try to ruin your name. I'm not giving nobody the reason to ruin my name. All my puppies now, them is 7 years old. All their sisters and brothers is living. So I asked anybody out there on the internet who got 7-year-old dogs, are they all still living? At the end of the day, that's what matters. I'm talking about quality, not quantity, but quality.
Yeah.
Well, man, Ben, your screen's freezing up. Are you still there?
Yeah. Oh,
you must be using a HughesNet internet service. That
They're in the woods. They're in the woods, Gerald, right? And
Yeah.
they have a couple of stores around it. It's actually a pretty cool place, though. I drove around there for like, man, I was there. I know.
When you come to Amsterdam, I'm 1,000 and some feet above sea level. So sometimes it's snowing up here. It could be raining halfway down, and then it could be sunny at the bottom.
Yeah.
all right. Well, go ahead.
And when it get cold up here, I tell people it gets brick cold. But no, I'm more than welcome to invite both of y'all out here and everything else to see it, and then see the stuff and see what I do, and see how we can link up and do it more, because I'm on board.
Nice.
I'm on board with a lot of stuff you're doing. And like I said, I want you to be out here and put that bite suit on and show me how to do it, because my dogs never did it before. So I want to see. So this will be good. If you put the bite suit on, and
I
you
put
tell
the
me
bite suit on.
I'm not gonna put it on.
Well, a lot of times you don't. If you're the owner, you don't want to play. You know, that's how
I
we
don't
train.
want to play. I don't want to play victim.
Yeah, you don't want to play the victim. You always want to have somebody else to wear the suit. Yeah.
Right. So we're fine. Hey, we got a bunch of people down in Amsterdam that for $5. I promise you, they'll put that suit on. So we'll go get
I hope they
somebody
speak English.
No, it'll be just like the hot chip challenge.
Right,
like, look, man, we'll give you $100 if you put this suit on and let this dog charge after you. And we'll videotape it.
I don't think we like a problem training somebody.
A hot chip challenge. We'll give you 2 bumps and put this suit on, and let's see what these dogs do. They've never been trained for this.
And you will get a couple of thousand views on YouTube. Yeah.
Flare your arms like that bear did. That's what I want you to see you do.
Well, I tell you what, guys, this has been a pleasure. This is what it's all about.
It was a good one. It was a good one today.
And listen, I told you, Lil, this is going to be a good one, dog. We got to bring you back, Ben.
I liked it.
In a couple of weeks, we got to bring you back.
Yeah, I don't care what people I'm like you, bro. It's like we are like you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people will disagree with a lot of shit we do and a lot of stuff we do. Hey, listen, you don't have to do what we do. We just picking our experience. We just picking out how we do it. You know what I mean?
This what works for us.
Hey, that's what works for us. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. You know, they can feed up Keyball. They can give them the dogs. I don't care what they give them. To be honest, we just picking out what we think is the best. You know.
But the whole thing is we got the proof. The ones doing good.
We lost you.
I think he's cutting off.
You got your lips pointed out at us.
I know, right?
I'm gonna do it, Ben.
Hey, it was a good interview. It was a good one today.
Hey, Ben, your screen froze up.
All of ours did, but still, we're not the ones with the problems.
No, they're the ones with the problems.
Right, but that's the whole thing.
That's right.
You got your 9 dogs. I got my 11 here, and the puppies. You got your 3 at home.
4.
You got your 4 at home.
That's right.
We ain't the ones with the problems. They're the ones with the problems.
Yeah.
Well,
the people are by nature judgmental. You know, no matter
it doesn't matter, but they could be judgmental as they want. My dog ain't fucking up and tearing up shit, and I'm scared to do all this, that, and that. That's you. Live in fear.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing this for. That's the nature of the show, to give them tips to help out people. I don't know how people, Gerald, right? Since we started it, this is all it is about. To help out people. You know what I mean?
Because it's because your perception goes against their reality, so they get upset.
I mean, we've been doing it. Oh yeah, and then more and more, like you said, they're getting so soft and fruity. People, it's just like it's kind of
it's the chemicals.
You get a lot of haters. You get a lot of haters, lots of negative people.
After a while, these dogs gonna be walking around switching. Keep on. Watch what I tell you.
Hey man, this world is changing so bad, man. Where like I was at 24 Hour Fitness, and I've been a member there since '96, and I'm a member of Planet Fitness as well. And here in California, of course, all these fucking laws starts here first. And there was a guy that had a sex change. And now, anatomically, he would never be able to have kids. He would never have any eggs. He would never have an ovary. He would never have a clitoris. He just can't. And some of the women, he walked into the women's restroom,
Oh,
and some of the people were saying, we have a problem with this. And the people at the front counter said, hey, we can't do nothing about it. His driver license says he's a female.
wow.
And then somebody told me that made a good point. They said, Gerald, pretty soon you're going to have to go to a museum to see what a woman used to look like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I told you, they got so disconnected from themselves that people want
From
to
the
be like
nation.
other people instead of being like themselves. When women sit there and say they want an authentic guy, they want a real guy, that's a lie. Because I'm all of that, and the motherfuckers don't like that shit. Motherfuckers don't understand that if you come into a relationship, you got to change as well as me. It's the reason that you're by yourself. I see your flaws. If you drinking and smoking and not working out, guess what? You gonna stop drinking. You could drink a little bit. You're gonna stop smoking and you're gonna work out. You're gonna eat healthy. If you don't want to change, then you go back to where you was. I'm not about going backwards. I ain't trying to get fat with you.
Right.
You know what it is? We're losing our humanity. You know what I mean? Like we're losing the humanness what we have. It's everything is changing so fast. Humans are losing the humanity, and we are destroying everything around. Well, you know, and there is a people that are actually awake and they can see these changes. They're not like it. We can feel that it's something wrong, and we really like everybody can feel that it's something wrong.
It's because people are waking up out of the matrix.
Yeah.
And stuff as it is, because you only believe what you've been told. You ain't got no scientific evidence or none of this stuff. All these buildings and stuff that's been built around this world, and we can't duplicate none of it.
No.
What kind of technology do they have? What kind of technology do they have?
It's in us,
to the stars and everything else.
Yeah. Just follow what we have, like the instinct. You're right. Like we supposed to be humans. We supposed to be free, you know, energy and eat clean and exercise and be outside.
But
Same
when people
dog needs to be dogs, but we forget that by along and everything is changing fast with all these computers and social media. I think that if we keep the thing is, Ben, I think if we keep on doing the same thing for a long time, we're gonna lose it, and we won't be able to. We will never get it back. Like Gerald said,
it's not losing because people perish for the lack of knowledge. This is being passed on from generation to generation. So if I'm sitting there telling you this and you're passing on, you're gonna have a healthy dog. You don't supposed to be like the mass people. I mean, if you sit there and look at the Bible, I look at the Bible like this: basic instruction before leaving Earth. That's what the Bible stands for. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. They say the vast majority of the people are gonna go to hell. Hell is not a physical place, and they're like, why hell ain't real? Let me tell you this: the hell is in this. No, the hell is in your feet. Your highest conscious in your head. Yeah. If the devil disrespected God, and I did the same thing that the devil did, why the hell he gonna torment me? We're gonna have a party down there. He ain't gonna torment me. I did the same shit that he did.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense, all this other stuff and everything else. People look, the District of Columbia, because I was smart. The District of Columbia is ran by the Colombians down there. That's why it's called the District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
The family run the Colombian family down there run all this shit. Mm-hmm. That's why they had the 13 colonies. To sit there and put who they want in places and everything else to segregate people. You over here, you over here. We had all of Italy here. We had all of this over here. I'm definitely gonna get in trouble for this one. The Jews started off in Germany, then they went to Africa, and then they placed them over there. If you really want to do your history, don't sit there and run that history stuff. Black people own slaves. A black man would sit there and take his daughter, sell him to another black man, and then he would sit there and sell it to a white person. I mean, people don't know nothing about the history. They only know what they was told. Martin Luther King had a dream based on the fact he couldn't shake that white boy's hand.
That's true.
But when you sit there and look at it and everything else, because you are your higher being. It's no other person that's higher than you. Don't sometimes you feel like I've been here before.
We are God. Like we are God. God is in us. You know, I believe in all that stuff.
Right, but your energy, your body is energy.
True.
When you look at the food that you're eating, is any of that food giving your body energy? It's taken away from your body. Yep. All the food is taken away, and that's why people getting sick, depressed, all this other stuff, because they're not getting food to get their body energy.
I eat one day and I fast one day. I eat one day, fast one day.
I mean, but that's good because you're denying the flesh, and
Oh
the
no.
more you deny the flesh, the brighter you get.
Well,
And you
we are
start thinking,
supposed to leave off the fruits. That's true. That's true. You know, like if we
and they're
get,
like,
man,
we got,
we can talk forever about this one. This is
yeah,
my
because
my
because
my
they
weak
first heard
subject.
people be like, well, we got canines. Yeah, canines is to bite into them apples. Apples have everything you need in them. One apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Watermelon. Watermelon.
Not processed apples. Apples like off my tree, off my tree.
Watermelon is some high
Yeah,
energy fruit. Raw
yeah,
watermelon.
watermelon with the seeds in it.
Yeah,
You
with the
want
seeds.
you want
Everything you
Viagra.
want to have seeds. Yeah, everything
You
everything
you
you
want
eat, you want to have seeds. Yeah.
if you're getting the seeded watermelon without the red coated dye in it from the fake ones and everything else, the watermelon seeds is just like Viagra.
Oh yeah, cucumbers too. Cucumbers and watermelon, they're same family with the seeds in it.
Right,
With the seeds.
but people, what people do, they cut out the seeds and get rid of it because that's what you were told.
No, you want the seeds.
I ate the seeds with the watermelon. I didn't have time. I didn't have patience to fucking seed the
Right,
water.
right, but I mean,
The seeds are the
and then
seeds with connection. That's right.
and then do you know how your digestive system good? You look in the toilet. Oh, look at all the seeds in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember that stupid stuff? If you eat a chicken bone, you get choked on it. So you put 4 pieces of bread on the fish. It was fish. And you make sure you put the bread on the fish and squeeze it together real tight and eat the chicken bone so you don't get choked. That's the stupidest thing we used to do. I mean, that people like, I'm like, if anybody got choked on the bone, it'll be my dumb ass trying to eat a fish when I knew I could have ate the whole bone and everything else. But that's the stupid stuff we do.
Yeah.
I have never seen my dogs get choked. I seen them cough the food back up, and the rest of the dogs eat it. But I never see my dog be like,
Choking.
Yeah, never.
I mean, I ain't never seen my dog doing that.
No, raw bones, they never gonna choke off of raw bones, man. I don't. I tell people this. They think wrong. Like if you cook them,
Even cooked, but that's what I'm saying.
even cooked, they won't have. Man, you're right.
Only dogs get problems with bones is dogs that wolf down food that ain't getting enough food in them. So
That's
starving.
true. They eat it too fast.
They're eating it too fast and they get choked. And one dog probably got choked, and then they're like, "Oh, this is a good law. Don't eat dog food. Here, we got chicken in this, and it's chicken bifillers. You got feathers in there. You ain't got nothing in there but the chicken feathers."
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's been good on this thing. We got to do this again, Ben.
Oh, we almost got 2 hours.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
Definitely. I like that. It passed by really quick, you know. Yeah, we'll do it again.
It's on that same energy level. We could sit here and talk for days because it's you giving me a different perspective. I'm giving you one, and we both feeding off each other and learning from it. Because I said, the way you discipline. Yeah, Copper need that. Copper and hardhead ass need it. The rest of them is good, but Copper, that joker need it. He need to be sit and just sit because Copper be looking at me like, man, you can't catch me. I mean, he be doing dumb stuff sometimes, but he needs to be like that. But I mean, I don't really, like I said, really do nothing with my dogs. People are like, what do you mean? I let them do whatever. Like I've been talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this stuff with the video to show them that I hope they still remember this stuff because normally I just put the food out there and they eat.
Well,
and that's why I gotta keep talking to them sometimes. I'm like, get back, because they're like, hey, buddy, we just come over here and eat. What's up with this crap right here?
Yeah. Well, we got to end it because I want to schedule this again the next couple of weeks. So we're gonna plan it and do part 2.
Yeah. Right. I like this one. This one's actually pretty good. Pretty good.
We're gonna throw religion.
We had fun. That's what it is. We had fun.
We're gonna throw religion. We're gonna throw
religion. We're gonna throw religion. We're gonna throw accountability in there.
Yes.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk more about why the dogs are the way they are from the people.
Sexology.
It ain't the dog fault.
Brother, you don't want to open me up about this type of this subject.
Yes, I do.
This subjects I like. I'm all up in that stuff. Remember, I sit home 24/7 with these dogs, and I get connected to the nature every day. I think about with my, I eat fruit too. I fast a lot, so all I do is think how to get connected with my dogs.
Because when people look at dogs before we go, when people sit there and they look at their dogs, they be like, their dogs use they ears and their nose and everything else. I said, you have no clue how a dog works, anatomy works. I said, when that dog go outside, first thing it's gonna do, throw his nose up in the air.
Yeah.
Once it throws his nose up in the air, what's next? His eyes? No, it's the ears. It goes to the ears. Once the ears get locked on, them eyeballs get locked on, and then he goes. That's how it works. We work with our eyeballs. We don't work. We do not work with our nose. The dog run outside, and when he throw his nose up in there, he's picking scents up from everywhere he's picking them around him. And he know exactly which direction to go if that animal or something's over there, and they go run in that spot, and then they pee in it because something been right here.
We're
gonna end it right here, but Ben, we gotta do this again. And I hope you like that logo that you got now.
Oh no, yeah, I loved it. That was what Leo did. Yeah,
no, that was Miles. Miles made that logo.
Miles, that's the main Sancho that it's doing.
I want to send him one with all 5 of the dogs in the back, but the sun comes up on this side, and I can't really get the picture I want. But I want to send him one, put all 5 of them on there. Because I can't never stand behind them because they're always looking at me. So that's where a person would come in and helpful. If the dog could face them, because they would look at you instead of looking at me, and then I could get a good picture like that. But if I'm walking and somebody take a picture, you could get it. But if I stand there with them, I'm never going to take that picture.
We're going to end it there.
It was nice talking to you guys. Hey, I got a really good energy. Ben, you got really good energy, man.
Leo's got to go piss.
I'm loving it.
We'll talk to you, Ben.
We'll talk to you again.
Hey, people, thanks. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Thank
y'all for having me on here.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, Ben will be back. Trust me. He's thinking outside of the matrix, which we all should be doing. All right. So
that's the only way. The only way.
Until next time. Thanks for tuning in. Boom.